When it comes to running backs in this year's NFL draft class, everybody is talking about the Notre Dame duo between Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. But one player today I want to talk about who is absolutely flying under the radar is Robert Henry Jr., the running back from UTSA. In 2023, with the Roadrunners, he had 588 rushing yards, averaging 4.6 yards per carry, with having 11 touchdowns on the ground. He also had 19 receptions to go along for 115 receiving yards. He had a very good first season with UTSA, but his second season with the Roadrunners was even better, having 706 rushing yards, averaging 5.4 yards per carry, having 7 rushing touchdowns, for 20 receptions for 200 yards and a receiving touchdown. He had a very impressive performance against Texas, having 6 rushing attempts for 65 yards and a touchdown. And when you look at Robert Henry Jr.'s final 2 games in the 2024 season, he was absolutely phenomenal. Against North Texas, had 168 rushing yards, averaging over 8 yards per carry, 2 rushing touchdowns, and over 50 receiving yards. And to close out his 2024 campaign, he had 178 rushing yards, averaging over 11 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns against Temple. Those final 2 games of the 2024 season was a big indication that how good Robert Henry Jr. was going to be for the 2025 season, and he was a beast for the Roadrunners, having over 1,000 yards on the ground, 9 rushing touchdowns, 18 receptions for 144 receiving yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Robert Henry Jr. averaged 6.9 yards per carry this past season for the Roadrunners. That is tied for 3rd most among running backs in this year's draft class. The person that he is tied with is Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love. The start of 2025 season, he had 177 rushing yards, averaged over 10 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns against Texas A&M. There was not a single running back in college football who started off the 2025 season better than Robert Henry Jr. Each of his first 4 games this past season, he had at least 144 rushing yards, and in each of those 4 games, he had one rush of 74 yards or more. Robert Henry Jr. had 6 different plays this season that were 70 yards or more. His big play ability is absolutely insane. Anytime he has the ball in his hands, he's capable of taking it to the house. He's one of the most shiftiest running backs in this year's draft class, and if he gets an open field, look out, because there's a pretty good chance he's going to be scoring. Robert Henry Jr. isn't getting talked about nearly enough because he played at a small school like UTSA, but when you look at throughout the years, UTSA has had some big names. Edge rusher Marcus Davenport was a first-round pick several years ago, and cornerback Tariq Woolen played at UTSA, and now he's one of the better corners in the National Football League. Robert Henry Jr. is one of my favorite players in this year's draft class, and is somebody you need to know before next week's NFL draft. I would not be surprised at all if Robert Henry Jr. ends up becoming one of the biggest steals in this year's draft class. But that about does it for this video. If you're new to my channel or you've seen my videos before, make sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time on the Sports Dude Hines Show.